Hello, I'm Alex Koloskov, founder of Photigy.com, your instructor on this course. On this video, I'm going to talk about gear, about the equipment, photography equipment that you will need to successfully go through the course to complete all the assignments and graduate with the certificate from Photigy School. If you already have a studio, a photography studio, and you shoot all kind of things, including product photography, you do product photography. This video is not for you because you already have everything. This video is more for beginners, either beginners in studio photography, meaning that you already have a camera, you have some lighting, but basically you're shooting outside, you're shooting people, and you work outside on events or whatever. Or photographers who has nothing yet and looking to buy camera, first camera, lens, maybe lighting and whatever is needed, and if you want to go with product photography. In this video, I'll be using the page that we have created for you. We made specifically for students of the complete guide to product photography program. You may choose things from this list. However, it's not that you need to stick to a particular item. And in this video, I'm going to explain just how you're going to choose each thing, either from the list or from your store. So let's start. The camera. The camera could be any camera with the interchangeable lens. You have to have camera with interchangeable lens, meaning that you can replace it. Crop sensor, full frame sensor, it doesn't matter. The reality is that your clients won't really care about the camera that you're shooting or lens or whatever. They only need to see the final result. And this is what we're going to teach you on the program. How to get decent pictures of any type of products that you can face on working as a product photographer. Any camera will work. What brand? Nikon, Canon, Sony, maybe Olympus, maybe Pentax, whatever. That's not really important. And important, I mean, for product photography, there is no camera that made for product photography or better than others. Camera brand. And what I suggest you, how you approach buying the camera is this. Camera is something that you're going to touch and hold in your hands many times. And controls and the complete feeling from the camera is way more important for you than some technical characteristics. Especially within the same price range, you won't find big difference on different brands in terms of the quality of the image or sensor size or ISO performance or focusing performance. It will be plus minus but the same. What you will find different is controls. Different camera brands has completely different controls and you will get quite different feelings. So what you do is this. Think what budget do you have for your camera? And once you know, okay, I have up to 1,000, for example, to spend on the camera, or maybe up to $500, whatever. It shouldn't be really expensive, unless you have money for this and it's beautiful, you can set up everything and do not change it. It's okay to buy a non-expensive camera, your first camera. Go to the store, try to hold, try to click, try to adjust, go to menus on different camera brands. Try Canon, try Nikon, try Sony, try Pentax, whatever, and see how you will feel. Try to shoot something. Bring your maybe memory card, put inside, and just click, 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 click. See how it will work. This will be way more important. Your subjective feeling will be way more important than the rest. Because let me tell you this: working with the studio, we don't care about how accurate the autofocus is or how fast, because we do things on manual focus. We also don't care how good camera on high ISO, what the ISO performance, what about noise reduction, all this, because we usually shoot at ISO 100 or maybe 200 maximum. And all modern cameras has very good quality at this ISOs. Then sensor size, again, if it's up to $1,000, it will be always crop sensor, and it's fine. This is completely fine. This is not what will stop you or can stop you from taking good pictures of products and selling them to your customers. So this is how you choose the camera. Then the lens. You need to have a macro lens or something that will work as a macro lens for you. What I mean? In many cases, you need to shoot small subjects. You have to get close enough to the subject and be able to focus on the subject. This is where macro lens will work. What the macro lens is? The lens with magnification ratio between... What the magnification ratio of the lens is? You can look at specification, but basically it's ability of the lens to shoot close enough to the subject. Imagine that your sensor size is crop sensor like this, somewhere, whatever, 16 by 24 or whatever, millimeters, right? If I shoot with the lens with magnification ratio 1:1, that means that this little SD card on the macro lens, I can shoot it close enough and focus on it, that it will cover completely, it will cover the whole frame. For example, this lens that I have, 35mm 1.8 Sony lens, it just simply, I cannot really focus on it. I can only focus to take a picture. The closest distance is this, so I cannot shoot it closer. Just because the lens magnification is really far away from 1:1. If you have magnification ratio, let me show you how does it look like on specification. For example, this is 50mm Canon lens, okay? Great lens, f1.4, not really expensive, but really cool lens. However, the magnification ratio is 0.15x. It's supposed to be 1x if it's 1:1 lens. This will be about 7 times less than this, so close to what I showed you on the Sony. This is not good for product photography for small subjects. You can shoot something large, right? It's okay, but you cannot shoot small things like even this one. You can't really shoot it. So what you need to get a macro lens. Let's click on the macro lens and see a specification. You see they have word macro, and if you go to specification, it will be 1.0x. So if you see the number between 0.5x and 1.0, it will be good. 0.5, it means you will have, well, half of the life size. But that's okay. That's okay. It's, if you don't shoot jewelry, it's fine. If you're going to shoot jewelry or something similar to jewelry, then you need 1:1 magnification. Okay. And it's better to be lens around 100mm focal length lens. Okay. That means you can shoot relatively far away. If it will be like 35mm macro lens, it's not good. I mean, you can shoot things, but small things, but you need to get really close to your subject, and this is not good. Okay. It's not convenient because camera will take too much of the reflection if it's something reflective, so it's not going to work. I'll show you more about this on the course. Just believe me. You need to have at least 60mm and longer. Ideal range, it's about 80mm to 120, 150mm. And it should be macro, okay? What if you don't have a macro lens, but you have some other lens, let's say some 70mm or 100mm, but it's not macro. Even if you have 50mm, and you don't have budget to buy a macro lens, what you can do, you can buy an extension, macro extension tube. Basically, it's a piece, it's like a ring that comes between your lens and a camera. It kind of moves lens forward. You connect the lens to the ring and ring to the camera. And what it does, you see, it's not much money, it's like $40, $50. What it will do, it will increase magnification. The trade-off is that you're gonna lose the brightness. If it will be extension lens, extension tube, macro extension, it will reduce the amount of light that hits the sensor. So if your lens, let's say, is 1.4 open aperture, maximum open, it will be 2.8, for example, when you put something like this. However, it's not a big deal because we're not shooting at wide open aperture anyway. We usually close it down to f8, f12, f16, sometimes f18, because we shoot products. We need to have all things in the focus. So this is not a problem. The biggest issue with these things are that you lose quality and contrast of your image as well, just because the lens is not working on the optimal distance, and part of the light that lens collect to be sent to the sensor basically sends somewhere else, but not on the sensor. So this will work if you are really beginner, and if you don't want to spend money on a macro lens, you can try some macro extension tube for your camera, for your lens, for your mount, and it will work for you. At least you will get better magnification and shoot. How much you need to get? Well, look at the specification. For example, this one, the extension rings gives this magnification. There are different thickness of those rings, from 12 to 20 to 36 millimeters. And you see 36 millimeters will give you almost 1:1, so 0.883 magnification. So it's really macro lens. However, you will really get close to that. It's gonna reduce the focal length. So 50 millimeters with this macro extension will work at the focal length. The focal distance will be shorter. Okay, so we need to get closer. Keep in mind. So better to use some 150 millimeter lens with this. Okay, to turn it into macro. So this is about camera and lenses. This is the most important. And what I can tell you, what I can suggest, you better buy a good lens and not that good camera, because lens is way more important piece in your chain of events between click and good picture. With a good camera but bad lens, bad mean the cheap lens, you will end up having blurry image, low contrast, and something that you won't really enjoy. Camera won't get you there. Good sensor and good quality of the camera. The lens is way more important. A relatively non-expensive camera with an expensive lens, like 2-3 times expensive, more expensive than the camera, will produce a better results than expensive camera and non-expensive lens. So you always think backwards. Lens is more critical part of the good image, not the camera. Okay? Then the lighting. There are tons of different lighting options. Continuous lighting, strobe lighting, studio monolights, studio generators, and pricing starts from $60 to $16,000. And of course, I'm going to cover the least expensive ways. And I suggest you to go with strobes. First, because, well, it will give you a little bit more interesting things like freezing the action and a little bit more power compared to continuous light, and it actually costs less. Plus, you may already have something like these speed lights. You may already have a speed light, and it's perfectly will work for you for product photography. If we look at our list here, at light modifiers, lighting and modifiers, for example, this Kodox lens, the speed light cost $65, okay? This is manual lens, but it has all kind of things like slave and optical slave, built-in wireless slave, all kind of things. It has zoom, head, and it's cost only $65. You may have better speed light, it's fine. What you need to make it work, what you need to add to the to your light, you need to add strip box. Okay, you need to add some strip box that you're going to use to light up your subject. The bare speed light not going to work, and even the speed light behind the diffuser is not going to really work for you. you need to have something like this. And it's better to be a strip box, not a soft box. Soft box, it's something like a square or octabox or whatever. Strip, it's a narrow soft box. Again, on the program, you will see why you need this. I really explain because we shoot everything with this, guys. 85% of the time, I use strip boxes in my photography. I rarely use something like a square or other shapes of my softbox, okay? And how you mount your speed light to this strip box is this. There is an adapter. It's a speed light bracket. What else do we have on this list? A snoot. Again, snoot. If you buy bowens, if let's say your mount is bowens, then it will be snoot that mounts on bowens. Reflector like this, something that will give you a fluid light, and then you can mount on this reflector. You can mount honeycomb grids, all kind of things. This is what you need. You can get set of gels and again all kind of things for that specific reflector. This is what will help you. And the last thing, you need to have diffusers. You need to have diffusers, and the best way to start is to do yourself if you don't have much money. You buy a frame like this. It's a great frame because it's very solid construction. You can easily fix this frame using some grip heads like this. Okay, this is where you stick a pin from your frame, and this where you put it on a stand. And to fill it with a diffuser, you buy a Savage Translum backdrop. Basically, the Savage Translum, it's a plastic. It's a specific plastic that you can get wet or whatever. It's just a plastic, it's not a paper. And it has a very good diffusion. It's made for photographers, and it has a very natural color, meaning that it's not going to add any color shift to your image. And well, this is what I use all the time. And I have tons of do-it-yourself different sizes of those diffusers. Okay, so you mount your diffuser. You can actually get smaller frame like this, $20 only, right? It's just the size, and depends on how large your studio is. Larger are easier to work with if you have room, because larger diffuser will give you easier, it will be easier for you to get nice gradients or get nice reflections. Again, on the course I show you how to, what's the difference and how to use it. We have particular lessons about gear as well on the course. This is just, where you start. So you buy one of these. And then you need a stand. Better stand, it's a C stand, but it costs more. But it's heavy, it's cool. I mean, this is the stand that will work for you. You can buy only stand or with an arm. It's up to you, depends on how much budget do you have. Or you can use something very simple, like this. And it will work with the same grip head, okay? With this, for example, it will work, it's fine. It just will be not as easy to deal with when you put into storage or when you have multiple stands. C stands, and the coolest thing that in C stands, that legs are on a different height, and you can stack them together just because one leg can go under another leg. With those regular stands like these, you can't really put stands one close to another because legs will be kind of interacting with each other. Not a good way, okay? This is what you need to start. Okay, there are clamps, there are grips, there are some sort of arms or mounting things. You all need more of these, is better. But to start, you can hold by your hands or hold by something else. If you really don't have budget, get at least a few clamps like this, okay, at least. This is the coolest thing too. With an arm, or it will work really nice. Okay, then you may need some backgrounds, you may need all kind of things, but this is not required because you may start shooting with what you already have in your house if you're a beginner. Okay, I was there, I was starting to shoot everything in a bedroom in a very little apartment when we came to US, and I was shooting using construction lights, so just tungsten construction lights. And well, even there, after a period of few months, I was getting nice pictures of some still life stuff, some flowers, whatever. So it's all possible. In this video, hopefully I showed you the way that you start to buy your studio gear. So, get the equipment, welcome to the course, sign up for the course, and I'll show you how to do it. I was doing it for about 14 years now, and I can show you how to do it fast, how to do it relatively easy, only by showing you practical ways, practical examples, and showing you all my mistakes as well, so which I already made many times. You don't need to repeat them. Here you go. It's all covered on the program. If you have any questions, there is a form you can always submit to our support team. They will try to help you. However, don't expect us to do the whole consultation for you if you're not a student yet. See you on the course. It was Alex Koloskov, your instructor. Goodbye and good luck. Good luck to your photography.